only think that you are better now, better now. You only say that cause I'm not around. You know I never meant to let you down.
First thing we always do is crack a beer.
Yeah, which one are we starting with?
Let's start with yours. I don't know if we even decided what exactly we're going to talk about tonight.
No, we should do drugs. Hobo drugs.
Drugs?
Drugs is good.
Drugs? That's what we're going to... Yeah, okay, cool.
And then...
what am I even pouring my glass for?
I know.
What a fucking asshole.
Be a gentleman, Norris.
The glass we were drinking out of last time.
Yeah. Mine is so
broke.
tall.
Yeah, I know. It's actually Owen's.
It's so thin.
Yeah, it's for a like that is like a Pilsner cup apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beer has different glasses, doesn't it? Like wine and stuff.
Yeah, apparently.
I don't know.
We'll leave it there.
Well, we can top off.
Yeah, we'll top it up. All right, cheers. Cheers. So this is Salt Spring Island Earl Grey IPA.
Yeah. Has bergamot added to it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is straight up Earl Grey.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't even take a sip yet, but I just like when I put my mouth to the cup and like went and kind of like inhaled slightly, I could like the air off of it, like I could like taste the Earl Grey.
It's just like so like fumey.
Yeah, like I could like taste the Earl Grey before I even actually drank it. And then when I drank it, it's like I immediately went to those Earl Greys that the stick serves. That's what it tasted like to me. Like the London Fog. The London Fog, that's it. Yeah.
Tea time meets happy hour with this bergamot infused.
I'm happy.
Style IPA.
I'm happy.
This is great. Yeah, it was super nice.
It's a strong beer, 7%.
Yeah, it is. No weak ones today.
Crisp, hot, hop bitterness, malty caramel sweetness. I definitely get that.
Mm-hmm.
Fronted by beautiful floral and citrus aroma.
Yeah, just like right
Hashtag
away.
drink beer with nature. That's
that's
their hashtag.
Yes.
I didn't really know.
We should do an episode of the podcast in the woods.
Oh, we should. I actually thought about doing it like out on my deck.
Oh.
But I'm afraid the wind will like.
We should do like an afternoon in the sun one day.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Like on a Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
Get ripped.
Yes. Just do that. We should start
just
like
rip
we
bong
should,
tokes. Just kidding.
we should.
Kidding. Bong tokes fuck me up. I can't do bong tokes.
I've never done a bong toke before.
Dude, don't. Just don't. Bong tokes are just like they know they're
not
like
worth it.
Yeah, they fuck. Well, like lots like people can like I know people who will just like rip bong tokes.
People that have whole Instagram channels dedicated
just to their bong tokes. There's like a couple people from our grad class who just like
seriously.
Oh yeah, or like people who put it on their Snapchat story, just like ripping bong tokes.
That's how you do it.
I don't know. People like wake up and just like bong, and I'm like,
I don't get that.
I can't do it, man.
I don't know.
I can't. I legit yeah, I don't know. To me, that's like getting up and just taking a couple shots. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It just like you're barely conscious and you're already kind of clouding your, or not clouded, but like you're already altering your state.
Yeah,
and you literally just woke up. Like you're still asleep. Like that's sort of your altered state, is it not?
Especially if you're getting just like absolutely ripped at the beginning as well. It's just like roll out of bed and just like unscrew a bottle and just be like,
yeah.
I don't see the difference.
I know, dude. That's
whatever floats your goat, man.
Yeah, whatever floats your goat. That's a weird expression.
It's a great expression.
That was this is a nice transition into drugs.
This is a good transition into drugs.
Yeah, kind of happened naturally. Now making it unnatural by saying that.
We had a good segue going, Norris, and you just like kicked it over.
It was natural.
You were the guy wearing the safety equipment on the Segway, and it's not cool anymore.
Yeah. Okay. What's your? I think I know like little bits and pieces of what your feelings are on like just drugs. Should drugs? Okay, so here's my question: should drugs be legalized? Should all legalized? Should all drugs be decriminalized?
This is the thing that I mean,
should all drugs or some drugs or none drugs?
Well, I'm definitely for lots of drugs being decriminalized.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not in favor of people going out and doing lots of specific drugs. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's definitely drugs that are not good for you to do.
Yeah, but again, it's your body.
But again, I have like this like libertarian sort of streak in me that makes me want to, like, you get to do whatever
you want
to do.
Yeah, you should be able to destroy your body if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we as we drink our beer.
That awkward little.
Beer's not destroying your body.
It's not destroying your body.
No, but we're talking like fucking hard.
Some scary.
Yeah,
like,
the fucking coke.
Heroin.
Dude, coke is what sketches me out the most. Because you have.
I know a lot of people that do a lot of drugs, and like, I will never do coke though.
Yeah. There's this one G-Eazy song where it's about this girl. I think the literal like hook is, she said she don't smoke or sip. She said I do blow and that's it. And he wrote a song about this chick who is in his house, and they're like drinking and smoking weed, and she's like, no, I don't do any of that. I only do blow. I just do blow. And he wrote a whole song about her. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, sorry, I just thought of that.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, no, I just do cocaine.
Yeah, I just do coke.
I don't like the way alcohol makes me feel.
I don't like feeling hungover in the morning. Yeah, coke is what sketches me out the most, because like people put some shitty things.
That's
in there,
like,
and it's so easy to lace with other things. Like, so easy. Like when weed is laced with like other stuff, sometimes you can like see it. Like some people lace it with glass.
Oh.
Have you ever heard that?
No.
People literally lace it with glass.
I'm so uneducated on some of these things.
People.
What do you like? Does that just increase like the volume of it, like so it weighs more?
Yeah. So it's a weight.
So
it
you
weighs.
Can, like, sell someone less weed.
For more, and over a large, after selling a large quantity of weed, you have saved a lot of money. But that person is smoking glass.
So is it like super fine glass? Okay, so it's not like you're going to inhale the glass as well.
Oh yeah, you're gonna inhale that shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's dangerous and it fucking cuts you up, and
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, people lace it with glass because it's heavy and it's see-through.
Yeah.
So
you can't see it. Whoa.
Yeah. But yeah, like coke, like it's literally just a white powder. You can like fucking chuck. You can chuck whatever you fucking want in there.
Like Tylenol.
You can grind up Tylenol,
toss
in some baking
powder.
powder.
A lot worse than Tylenol.
Yeah. People are putting a lot worse than
anything can be a white powder.
Literally anything can be a white powder if you just like grind it up fine enough, and you know what I mean. Like they can just toss whatever in there, and you would never. And no one's like, people like will like examine their weed. You know, they're grinding it. You know, it's sort of like an interactive thing with your weed.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you know, like you like grind it. You know, you roll it. You're like feeling it. You know, you're constantly handling it. But with coke, it's like you pull it out of your little bag, you put it on the table, and you just snort it. You don't like do much with it. You know what I mean? It's pretty straightforward. So people aren't like looking at it or like really. There's no like where weed is sort of like there's like high quality weed and there's like low quality weed, which is the same with coke.
Yeah.
But there's like connoisseurs of like weed, and like there's a culture behind it and stuff. You know what I mean? There's some sort of class behind weed. I feel like there's like some sort of class behind it. Or there definitely can be, but like coke, it's just like I feel like it's just one of like the fucking grungiest drugs, but it's also one of the most popular party drugs.
That's like the biggest thing that I've heard. Like
it shocks me how many people have done weed.
The moment you become
coke.
an adult, you learn that everyone does coke.
Yeah,
and it's so true.
Yeah, here I learned here everyone smokes weed or has smoked weed at some point. But yeah, and then that's like when you're a teenager, and then like when you get older, like I've met people who I've known who I went to school with, who I've known for 2 years now. They're like, I know they go party, but like then like I've like just heard through the grapevine that they like, whoa, like yeah, or they tell me and I'm like, what the fuck? You're like, who are you?
Yeah, it's just different, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's the first sort of like step above like pot.
You think so? I think the first step above is shrooms.
I guess so. Yeah, a lot of people.
But it depends on if
psychedelics are very different.
Depends on what you're going for. There's like the hippie people who go into shrooms more, and then acid. I feel like there's like the partiers and the for the hippies and the chillers and the people who kind of go
like
chill.
the spiritual sort of side.
Spiritual side of it.
Which
So,
is
like,
actually the part that I think is more fascinating than everything else.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm so fascinated by psychedelics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's really interesting. Like, so many people, like, lots of people do psychedelics. One of my favorite things, I think you should listen to, I'll send it to you. But there's this bodybuilder, Dorian Yates.
Mm-hmm.
I won't get into, like, his bodybuilding stuff because that's not related. But he did a lot of psychedelics.
Okay.
And but he did, like, he smoked, he still smokes a lot of weed. He owns part of a weed club.
Okay.
So it's basically like a lounge bar where you go in and it's like really chill, it's mellow. They got all this funky
in,
lights.
Like, California?
No, it's in Spain. That's where he lives.
Spain. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, I was like, can you do that in the States or like in Canada?
So it's basically like a sort of like a gentleman's club.
Yeah.
But there's no it's not like a stripper, a strip club. It's like literally just like a private club, but it's more like a lounge.
Like what like cigar clubs are like?
Basically,
like
yeah, where you go in and you like they have like 5 different like weeds of the day.
Okay.
They have like edibles and stuff that you can buy, kind of like just like a bar.
Yeah.
But there's no hype and aggression like there is in a club. It's chill. Everyone's mellow. They're playing pool. They're hanging out. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, so he smokes a lot of weed. He's a big supporter of it. But he did DMT.
Yes.
Multiple times. Fucks up your body. Like he's like, oh, it's just like shitting and throwing up at the same time.
like the physical effects.
Physical effects of it.
Yeah.
Like he was saying, like his what. Like
if you do straight DMT, you like smoke it and it's really harsh.
Oh, dude, yeah. But he was talking about he does psychedelics. He's like if you're gonna do drugs, especially like super psychedelics like that, do it with a purpose. He's like, don't just do it to get fucked up. He's like, do it with the intention that you're going to find something out about you. Want to answer some questions about yourself. And Dorian Yates, he's like talking about how like psychedelics and shit have like opened his mind to the reality that there is more than just the physical world. Mm-hmm. He so firmly believes that there is more out there than just what we see.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to like Sam Harris about psychedelics, which is sort of the big thing that sort of started to get me like intrigued by it. And like the big thing is like anything, like any experience. I mean, I personally haven't done psychedelics.
Yeah,
because I probably never will. Just scared. like honestly.
Fair enough. No, fair enough. Like, cause psychedelics, like, I mean, like I remember you telling me that thing about that guy who did shrooms and just was fucked for the rest of his life.
I mean, like a lot of it has to do with family history.
Yeah. So
like predisposition to like if you are predisposed to schizophrenia, like you have a chance of psychedelics bringing that on. But if you're not, you don't have a chance of psychedelics making you schizophrenic. Yeah. Like if you're not going to become schizophrenic.
So I don't have schizophrenia in my family, but I do have a lot of like mental disorders in my family. So it kind of sketches me out.
That's sort of my same thing.
Yeah.
Like some history of mental health in my family and stuff like that.
Like I've got OCD and bipolar and like depression and like all this stuff like from my family. Yeah. That like it just like to get into like the hard psychedelics kind of sketches me out. Yeah. I don't know what kind of effect.
I'm a little too precious of my sanity to gamble a little bit with it. I mean, like respect people that do.
Yeah, but you'd have to. I feel like you'd have to have like a really like solid reason to go after.
Yeah, I mean, if I knew 100% that I would be able to come out from the other side mentally sound, like maybe. Like even if like bad trips, like I get that and like hard experiences, but I mean like as long as I will be okay and able to like continue my life, I would 100% do it in a heartbeat. Yeah. But I'm just a little too scared of that like small risk factor. Yeah. Nothing's made it worth it for me yet. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you on like go in with the reason or the purpose to it. I don't understand the whole just like, oh, we're gonna go do acid and get really high.
Well, I get it. I know why. Well, you know why. Yes. You wouldn't do it.
I just don't. Yeah, I just.
But people do it because they want to go get fucked up because they don't like what's in front of them. You know what I mean? That's why people do drugs. That's why people do it. It's true. That's why people get fucked up. I'm not talking about people who just do drugs, on the weekend. Get, people who smoke a little weed. People who You know, even people who like fucking, you know, like do a bit of acid on the weekend, you know, they're not just dropping it every day, you know.
Mhm.
It's because they don't like what's going on. That's why people get fucked up.
Yeah. I remember what brought this though originally was saying how what you were saying about this bodybuilder guy like opened his mind to more than this.
He's a big spiritual guy. And
Yeah.
He thinks there's like lots of energy and spirits just out there. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, so.
But like the thing is, like any experience that you have on a psychedelic is something that your body is capable of doing. Because it's just your body. All it is doing like different chemical things in your brain.
Yeah.
But obviously, if it can do that, then your brain can do those things, and you're capable of experiencing those things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
the psychedelic brings it out.
It allows it to happen, but your body can still experience. Is capable of experiencing those.
So
things.
that experience you had is real.
In a sense,
it's real because you're having it.
You're having it, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like even if you're like hallucinating and shit, hallucination is the actual physical hallucination isn't real, but the feelings you're having, the experience, the knowledge you're gathering from that experience is real.
It's real
because you're having it. Yeah.
Like we can't. If you're filming you doing it, obviously, it wouldn't see what's happening. But,
yeah, because it's happening in here.
But it's happening.
It's kind of like when Harry Potter gets killed by Voldemort, and then he goes to the station, and he wakes up in the station with Dumbledore.
Yes.
And then at the end, like him and Dumbledore have this whole conversation, and then Harry Potter goes like, "Is this real, or is it all just going on in my head?" And Dumbledore's like, "Well, of course it's just in your head, but what makes you think it's not real?" Same thing with psychedelics.
There you go. Exactly.
The experience is real, so he wakes up from that. Physically not have happened it, but the experience is real, which means it happened, but in here.
Yeah, and does something make one of those more valuable than the other? Does the fact that it actually objectively happened makes it more valuable? Like, I don't think so.
I don't think so at all.
Experience is the same.
Experience is the same, yeah. Have you ever like when people say like sleep on it? Yeah. When there's a hard decision, people say sleep on it. That actually works. Like, it actually works. Like, if you have a hard decision that you have to make, like, I remember, like, when I was, like, thinking about quitting a job, I was having a hard time, like, deciding whether or not I wanted to quit or whether I wanted to quit another job or stay.
The first time you quit a job is such a weird experience.
Yeah, this wasn't my first time quitting a job, but I was just, like, having a hard decision, like, what I wanted to do. And my mom and dad were just like, okay, we'll sleep on it. Like, there's no rush. Like, just... Yeah. And so I went to sleep. And your brain thinks about it all night. Yeah. Like it's working away in the back of your mind. I woke up the next morning and I was like, I know what I'm going to do. Like, not like right away when I woke up. Because the first thing I do when I wake up is like,
a huge bong hit.
Just a huge bong hit. And then I'm ready to go. Yeah. No, that coffee, that's my thing. I can't. I get up sometimes in the morning and my parents have already been up for like 2-3 hours. Yeah. And like on the weekends, I'll get up at like 8:30 or something like that. And my parents have already been up for 2 hours. And I get up and like pouring my coffee, and they're like, they want to have some big discussion about like life and shit. And I'm like, it's too early. Call her there. Like, I can't.
I've always been like so like. Normally, I'm like right into it. I've never been one of those people that's like, no, I need to sit.
I can like jump into stuff. Like I can hop out of bed, put my clothes on, you know what I mean? Like, and then like head off to work.
But it's like much. When you have the thing to do.
When I have a thing to do, but if I don't have anything to do, it always happens when I sleep in. If I sleep in, I wake up groggy. It's how it is. So that's why I don't sleep in. I'm like, even on the weekends, I'm up by like 7:30 most days. Yeah. That day I happen to get up at 8:30 for whatever reason. What was I totally missed. What was your idea? Like, what was your feeling on legalizing?
Oh yeah, this is how we got down to psychedelics somehow. Yeah. So I don't really know. I don't.
The reason I ask is just because I know you have a bit of a conservative edge to you. And
I mean, on some things.
On some things, but I was wondering where that went on drugs.
Was like, I feel like 4 years ago, I was like, drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. All cases, and now I'm...
People who do drugs are idiots.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Does
No.
drugs once. And then
It's like, yeah. I mean, I've heard so many stories of like people like that.
yeah.
Of like friends of mine who like do a lot of drugs, and they had like this exchange student come over. No, he wasn't exchange. He just came from like sort of like rural Alberta, and like was like with the spending like going to university with them, and he was like super like drugs are evil, like oh like
Terrible.
don't like pot is the worst, like anyone who smokes pot's like an awful person. And you're just like just you wait, buddy.
Yeah.
And then like eventually they just like sort of like got him to like do something, and then he just like skyrocketed and was like doing like all the like crazy shit that like some of them wouldn't even touch, and just was like all
He
like
just
like
fell
out of
in love with
control.
drugs.
And they're just like, whoa dude, like you gotta slow down.
He's like, no, drugs.
I'm great. And then I think he like went back to Alberta, and I don't know if he kept it up or if he just like must have had like, a little binge and then
Yeah.
the system or not. But no, yeah. So I was
Normally people go to Alberta to get hooked on drugs.
really.
Well, yeah, like people go to like the oil fields
Oh, yeah.
and shit.
Just, like-
Because like when you go to the oil field, this is the way someone explained the oil fields to me. Because like when I was in grade 12, me and Ben talked about like taking a year off, going to work in the oil
Yeah.
sands, make a bunch of money,
So much money.
and then come back.
If you don't do drugs, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. and so I mentioned it to someone who I played rugby with, and he's like, listen here. He's like, this is what happens when you go to the oil sands. This is what people do. They go there. Their first paycheck, they make 12 grand. It's huge.
Yeah.
They go and buy a truck.
Mhm.
Okay. They spent all their money on a truck, so now they go back and wait for the next paycheck. They make a bunch of money, and then they have a truck. They have a place. They're just chilling. There's nothing to do in Alberta, so they start doing coke.
Yep.
They start doing coke. That leads to hookers. So then you're just into hookers, blow, and your truck. And then you come back, you have AIDS and your coke addiction and no money because you spent it all on your truck.
This is so true.
And I was like, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I started to rethink the oil sands.
Yeah. Like,
Not that I think I would buy a truck, get do blow. Anyone who knows me.
but like if you think about like out of all the people you've met that you know that have gone to the oil sands.
I only know two
I know.
people.
Oh, okay. Well, I know of at least like 6 people that have
Okay.
done it in general. Not personally.
Yeah.
So I know like 2 of them, but I know 2 of people out of all the people that I've heard of that own houses because they didn't do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can do it if you.
You can do it,
if
but
you
also
don't-
houses are a lot cheaper out there. It's
True.
just have
One of
to
them.
say.
One of them owns a house in Sioux.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. I don't know how long.
That's not cheap.
No.
Like houses in Sioux.
I think he bought it with like his brother or something like that. So maybe it was
Oh,
like,
okay.
totally. So maybe equivalent.
But yeah.
But you make so much money as long as you don't
Yeah.
do hookers and blow.
Yeah, you can make lots of money.
Yeah.
Like fuck.
Just sucks.
Like it's
The work just sucks.
it sucks. But that's like people like doing labor jobs like that. Like I know, like doing like labor jobs. Like, I mean, I do it now. Like
Yeah.
you make like pretty decent money because not a lot of people want to do it. But if people are willing to put in the work, fuck, you'll get paid for it.
And like, yeah,
Yeah.
respect.
I don't mind it.
Straight up.
Yeah, like fuck, like
I'm sure
but,
it's
like,
rewarding as well. You get like,
it is. You know what? It's weird that you get. It's fucking tiring and it fucking sucks. Like doing like labor sometimes, but like at the end of the day, you can you like kind of like think about what you did that day, and you're like, fuck, I
you
did
actually
that.
actually accomplish something.
Yeah, like because you do like physical work, and so like even if it's just like fucking like even if like I remember like by like second day, my super was like, see that stack of just like wood?
Yeah.
Move it 15 feet over there. Like I was like, fuck. I haven't, and so I literally just like took this wood, put some dunnage under it, and just started stacking it.
Yeah.
And it literally took like it was just like an hour of just hauling fucking wood, and it was some wood was like this big, some wood was like big like fucking like 2x6, like 2x10s, and like fucking big planks basically.
Yeah.
And it was just like all just big assortments. Some of it had like like nails screwed into it, and like then you had to like nail them or pull them out or whatever. And it took me like an hour, but at the end of it, I was like, fuck, like, move that there.
Yeah.
And like I get to drive like machinery and shit, which is super fun. Like, fuck, like You get to drive some cool shit.
Big trucks.
Yeah, like I got my forklift ticket, like my class 7 forklift ticket, which is tight.
Yes.
So I can drive like a massive fucking forklift. Awesome. And it's got like a big boom, so like it can reach out. Like
what's the name of the funny name of the
truck? The Zoom boom.
The Zoom boom, yeah.
The Zoom boom.
Ah, yes, I love it.
Yeah, so it's this huge thing. Yeah, I get to drive like a little like bobcat forklift and like an excavator, and I can drive. Tight. It's just like so. What I was saying is like it's like hard work, and it sucks sometimes. Cause sometimes like I definitely have moments where I'm like, this is stupid. I don't want to do this. Like, I totally think that like we could be doing something way better than this.
Yeah.
But like, or like, what people do is like they don't think ahead sometimes, and then they'll like do something, and like realize they fucked up, and then we have to like redo it. Yeah. And you have to redo it like 2 or 3 times because people keep fucking up or or like read the plans wrong or something, and you have to keep redoing it. And, like, it kind of sucks, but, like, there's something nice about, like, looking at something you've done and, like, being like, yeah, I did that. You know, like...
I feel like that has, like purpose.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
To it.
Even if it's, like, on a really small scale, it's like, I did that. Where, like, I remember Wyatt said, like, working construction is, like, really hard work, and it sucks. Like, he said the exact same thing I did. But he's like, it's so much more rewarding than, like, lifeguarding. Because, like, I totally feel like that'd be so true. Because, like, if you're not actually saving someone's life when you're lifeguarding, like, what you're doing doesn't actually, like... All he does have a purpose to it. All he does is walk around the pool deck. That's what he did when he was a lifeguard. Yeah. Which, like, he liked because he got to meet a bunch of cool people. Like, it was a good job. He got paid well. Yeah, like, the social aspects of it fun. He got paid well and all that. But I mean, like, he's like at the end of the day, like, I could look back at that shift and be like, yeah, I stood on that deck for 8 hours. Self 5. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and so he was just saying that, like, you know, like, labor was, like, super, you know, interactive, physical with your hands. You make stuff, you destroy shit. And it's just satisfying. Whoa. Yeah. We'll get back to drugs in 1 second. I think we should cut this and wrap it back up, and we'll be... What are we at? 27. Yeah. All right. So, gonna wrap up this clip, take a quick break, and then we'll come back. Bye. And yep, we're good. We're good. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, we should finish these off. I agree. Fuck, so we just had a good fucking chat there, hey? That was fun. Yeah, that was good. Kind of disappointed it wasn't filmed, but at the same time, I'm like, it's good. It's cool. It was just for us. It was a little something behind closed doors that no one else gets to see. Yeah. I'm curious about this one. I've only had like 1 or 2 category 12 beers before. Jordan really likes them. Yeah, it's a red ale. Remember we had a red ale last time? Is that I was talking about the Casinos one? Was the Casinos one a red ale? No. It was the Renfrew Red Ale. Oh, okay, yeah. That's what it's called. This is cool. We're gonna learn so much about beer. Yeah. On this podcast. Yeah. Fuck. Okay. Cheers. Yeah, I was about to just like leave it. What am I doing? I like it. That's very nice. I think I like the SOB one a bit better, though. If I'm comparing red ales. I mean, it's still good. I like red ales. Like I said, I've never had a red ale that I don't like. But I had a red IPA that I wasn't a huge fan of. IPAs are tricky for me. Like this one I liked. This one, no, like the Salt Spring. Yeah. It was a good, like the... It's like not very hoppy at all, I don't think. No, it was not hoppy at all. Yeah. It was super... It kind of tasted more like an ale. Yeah. It was kind of caramelly, had some citrus, but like not a lot of like bitter hops. Most of the like intense flavor came from like bergamot. Yeah. So that was interesting. This is nice. I like that. Yeah, me too. We're gonna bring it back around to drugs. Yeah, we went like totally off drugs, but that's okay. That's cool. Yeah, I want to get an answer from you. Yes. So what's the overall? I've asked you twice now.
We've tried to answer it.
Yeah, well, you go off on tangents.
I haven't intentionally ignored the question.
Should some drugs be illegal?
Oh, yeah.
Or should they just legalize all drugs?
And my answer is I don't quite know, because, like, part of me thinks that, like, some things are just, like, so bad for you. Like, I don't know, like...
Well, I feel like we should draw the line
like,
at what is drugs and what is chemical warfare.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, you can't have... Like, it's illegal to have asbestos.
Yeah.
But, like, so then should fentanyl be illegal?
Yeah.
Like, fentanyl kills,
fentanyl should be illegal.
So this is the thing, is, like, where do we draw the line of, like, what you can put
fentanyl fentanyl doesn't even get you high, does it? It literally just kills you.
I have no idea.
Like, literally, like, what is the point of fentanyl? It just literally fucking kills you.
I think it's, like, cheap, and I guess it gets you some sort of high. I don't know. I watched like a Vice doc.
Yeah, but it's so easy to overdose.
Yeah, they were interviewing this guy, and it's like, how many, like, friends have you lost to fentanyl? And it was like 16 people that he personally knew that had OD'd on fentanyl.
Fuck. Like, it's so easy. Like, literally, like, I think, literally all you need is, like, 3 to 5, like, grains of salt.
Worth of, like, actual pure fentanyl, too.
Yeah. Like, that's it. Like, if that's mixed in with your Coke, or like or with your acid pill, there's no way of knowing. Or even in your weed, there is no way of knowing. You can't. Fuck you. I could sprinkle it in here. No idea. I could fucking. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it could be anywhere, and you have no idea. Like, it's like that to me is so scary, because you have no fucking idea. That's why it's so sketchy buying buying drugs and stuff. I only buy weed from dispensaries.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel so sketched out buying it from anywhere else. Not that I, like, the only other place I bought, like, I think I got weed from Owen once.
Yeah, I get if you, like, know the person that grew it, or you're, like, super close with that people. Like, you know that, like, you could easily trace the supply chain back to, like, 3 people. It's not coming from, like, some place in Colombia.
Yeah, or you're not, like, just buying it from, like, a guy who your friend knows. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, dispensaries, like, even though they're not, like, regulated and shit like that. Yeah. It's still like, these guys are they're professionals.
Stores that anyone can walk into on a street corner, and there's weed inside.
Yeah.
And, like, you cannot have something that is killing people doing that.
Yeah, and you can easily tell. Like, you can look at trees.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like, they look like, you can tell just by the look of the store. Like, if a place looks really professional, fuck. Like, yeah, like they're professionals, man.
I mean,
like, legit.
Don't get me started on dispensaries, because I think dispensaries are hilarious.
Oh.
But this is part of the reason why I'm so for, like, I'm 100% for, like, legalization of weed in Canada, is so that we can have, like, you can have it operating legally.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, it's already happening. It's happening. Like, it's there.
It's happening, but it's illegal.
But
no one cares.
No one really gives a fuck.
And that's the thing that I'm like,
I
struggle with this, in that, like, it's illegal, but everyone's like, okay, do it, but, like, it's written in the law that you can't do it, and I know it's going to be, and I'm cool with that, and I'm totally fine with it. Yeah. But I just find it academically funny, to the fact that every single one of these dispensaries are operating illegally. Even though they're getting business licenses, though. Yeah. Like, the city of Victoria is giving them business licenses. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just funny. It's like Toronto had a big issue with, like, dispensaries getting so they'd get, like, broken into. Mm-hmm. But they can't call the cops, because the cops won't. Like, it's like in Victoria, but the cops won't do anything about them. Mm-hmm. Like, they just let them do their thing.
Because if they shut down one, they have to shut down all of them.
Yeah, so they just let them do their thing.
Yeah.
But if they call the police too, like in Toronto, if you own a dispensary and, like, people broke into it and stole all your shit, and then you call the police come in and raid you. Yeah. Because they're like, this is an illegal business. Yeah. But they just leave it alone otherwise. So you're, like, in this weird situation, and, like, I can't call the police. Yeah. I just think it's just intriguing.
Okay, what about your thoughts on edibles? Because they're illegal. Or not illegal, but they've been banned on Vancouver Island. Oh. I
didn't know this. When did this happen?
Oh, like a year?
Really?
A year ago, year and a half ago. Okay. They banned edibles. Like, the Vancouver Island Health Association banned edibles because they were worried about children eating them, thinking that they were just regular.
That's their reason?
That was one of them.
I mean, I thought the reason you don't know how much.
Well, that's another thing is you don't know how much is in it. They're super unregulated, basically, because they're just made in people's kitchens, basically.
Just let people regulate it.
Yeah,
legalize it so we can fucking regulate
but yeah,
it.
so people like literally like so they banned edibles, and one of the things that like at the castle dispensary, they have lots of edibles, and so that was a big part of their business was edibles, and so they're pissed about it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think they're still selling edibles anyway, but
like
it's not regulated.
It's not regulated because it's not legal.
Yeah. It's gonna happen. Vancouver Island Health Association is gonna come in and be like, "This is your verbal warning. Don't make us give you a fourth."
Like, dude, I can't. According to your laws, I can't sell anything in my store. But here I am. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "You're right," and they just sort of walk away sheepishly. So I just think that's funny.
Yeah. So here's my thing.
Yeah.
I think all drugs.
Yeah.
With the extent, with like the I'm talking when I say drugs, I'm talking about the party drugs. You know what I mean? Like the drugs people do to
like
get
MDMA,
high. MDMA,
cocaine.
heroin, coke, weed, shrooms, acid, whatever. Should be decriminalized.
I'm in agreement with that. Yeah.
Now, I think they should be decriminalized because I don't think people should go to jail for doing that. I don't think it's any different than drinking alcohol.
No.
You know what I mean? Or smoking cigarettes. I don't think it's any different. Both cause harm. They're both are poisons essentially.
Totally with you on that. Yeah.
Like, I don't see. Yeah, but I don't. So I don't think people should go to jail. If people are gonna get fucked up on drugs and end up, if people are gonna take it too far, get fucked up, end up homeless, streets because of drugs. You made those choices.
Yes.
And it sounds cruel, but
no,
but.
This is where
you put yourself
shift a little
there.
away from that. It's like the whole drug addiction is like a disease.
Yeah.
I'm kind of not
there.
I'm not sitting with that one.
Yeah.
It's like you made the decision to put the needle in your arm the first time.
So I do believe to some extent that it's a disease of some kind.
Okay.
I think that there is support for people who are addicted to alcohol. I think there should be, but alcohol is legal, so it's a bit more accepted.
True. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think there should be, and there's support groups for drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in safe injection sites.
I'm with you on that as well.
I don't think that government money should go to funding. Basically feeding them more drugs.
Like, let's give you needles and space.
Yeah. And this is
also, I think that a lot of, I'm not going to say that I'm quoting something specifically, but I think we could easily find sources to back it up. But there's quite a few things that show that they don't necessarily even work very well in harm reduction.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a...
I don't think there's a strong case yet.
I don't think there's a strong case for it.
Safe injection.
And the big
thing is government money going.
Yeah, government money going to that, and I don't know. I think that there should be places that they can go if they're fucking fucked up.
Yeah.
I think there are places that they should be able to go and go through withdrawal, and they should and there should be a place for them to go. Get clean. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that should be funded. A place for them to go get clean, but not a place for them to go
continue getting high.
Go continue getting high. I don't know why the government would want to fund that. I get that they want to reduce harm, reduce sharing needles and stuff.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think what they're doing is just putting more needles out on the street. Honestly to God,
I don't see how you can say that's.
That's what they're like. True. I think they're just putting to thinking about what happened in Victoria is people taping needles and shit to you know what I mean. I think they're just putting more out there.
And then you bring them all those people together.
Yeah.
And then people sort of
mob mentality.
Yeah, exactly. And you sort of people gravitate towards those things.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't think government money should be going to giving them needles, and Diabetics, they don't get free needles.
Yeah.
They didn't choose to be diabetic, but
this
they
is, like,
need needles.
Exactly.
They need needles, and like I talk from a personal level.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean.
People who are diabetic need to.
They need to pay to live.
You need to pay for like $300 plus to have an instrument that tells you how much insulin you need to give yourself.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Like,
Pumps are fucked. Did you hear the NDP government's going to be giving free insulin pumps to anyone of any age?
I didn't know that.
Any diabetic of any age is going to be getting free pumps.
They also want safe injection sites.
They do.
And whereas like this is my like.
But I look at it a big picture. That's one thing that they're doing that I'm not a big fan of. True. But I look at it. Sorry,
I guess I don't mean that in like a counter way. Like, haha, but but they also want to get needles to addicts, so you're wrong. I don't mean that. But I mean like, sorry, that was like poorly phrased. But no, like I mean I'm not opposed to that. Like I like
to what?
To giving like pumps or having diabetics.
Yeah.
At least
fuck yeah.
Maybe like I don't even know if necessarily pumps is the best thing because I don't know. But like at least allowing them access to insulin and like monitors and giving like dramatic cuts, like because it's so expensive.
It's so expensive. It's super expensive if you don't. So either you have to get a really high paying job.
Yeah.
You have to basically you have to live with your parents basically until you're fucking 23 or 21, whatever it is that you go off your parents' medical.
Mm-hmm.
So your parents have to have medical, and then you're probably going to live with your parents and bum off their medical for a long time. You have to get a high-paying job, or you have to get a job that has really good health benefits, because that shit is expensive. If you go in there to buy with no insurance, you're going to buy, like a month's supply. You're easily dropping $800 to $1,000 for a month.
So you can live.
So you can live.
Yeah.
Not even. That's not even. So you can literally survive. Like survive.
Yeah.
Like that's fucked.
And
they're giving free needles to drug addicts who chose to do drugs. And I get that they're addicted and that it's not like really a choice at that point. But they chose to do that. Initially, diabetics were not given a choice.
No.
That is like that was forced upon them. You know what I mean? And drug addicts don't need drugs to live.
Yeah.
They need drugs to get by to the next day until they can do drugs again. Diabetics need it to live so they don't die and so that they can do it the next day to keep surviving. I get heated about that because
I can tell you have like a personal connection to that.
Bit of a personal,
which is like, and that's the thing is like I don't like. We have free healthcare in Canada, and it's pretty well proven that like there's a lot of benefits you get from having free healthcare in a society. Like people are more like economic things as well. Like people are more willing to like move jobs. It's easier to do that. You're not scared that you're gonna lose all your healthcare.
Yeah.
But then like the way that we classify what things fall under that, I'm puzzled by. Like why is that not covered?
Yeah.
How is that not a healthcare thing?
Yeah.
Like if you need
it to survive,
you will just die otherwise.
Yeah, like seriously, that's the weird part.
Like if we don't give it to you, then you'll start to die.
Yeah.
We'll put you in a hospital, and then we'll start giving you free drugs until you get better, and then we'll take you out of the hospital.
And then you gotta pay.
You have to pay.
Yeah. Yeah. Diabetes is one of those things that I think is underplayed. It's because like if you think like people are like honestly, people react to, in my experience, like people have reacted to Jordan's diabetes the same way they've reacted to me being lactose intolerant. Think about that.
Like on the same like
their reaction is basically the same.
Oh.
It's like, oh, you're diabetic, cool. Oh, you're lactose intolerant, cool. Like it's basically like there's a few follow-up questions normally with Jordan's, but it's basically the same. Like people are like, oh, you have diabetic, or type 1 and type 2. Oh, do you used to be fat? Oh, or like that's normally a follow-up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like so like you probably can't eat this. Like that's so she gets a few like amateur follow-up questions, people who don't know much about it. But diabetes is like it's not like like people talk about it like it's just like a simple thing, you know what I mean? But type 1 diabetes, like type 2 is a bit more It's a bit more casual. Normally,
Wait,
you don't.
and you can like manage type 2 diabetes
Type
so
2
much well. Like,
type 2,
people
you
who
can.
have type 2 diabetes and don't manage it, I don't understand that either.
Dude, Jordan doesn't refer to them. She doesn't consider them real diabetics.
Yeah.
But type 2, in lots of scenarios, you can, or I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna think of the word for pregnancy diabetes, or when you can get diabetes when you're
Oh, I
pregnant.
didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh yeah, pregnant women can get type.
Is it like a temporary thing?
Yeah, it's temporary.
Okay.
It's temporary, but it's just because their hormones and like they get basically what we would consider type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
It can mostly be managed with diet and exercise, and very rarely do they actually have to go on insulin.
Yeah.
It's normally elderly people whose like pancreases are literally like kind of shutting down who have to go on insulin.
Yeah.
But yeah, type 1s, like, it's scary shit, man. Because your perfect level is somewhere between 6 and 8. That's sort of where type 1 diabetics want to sit.
Is that with like normal people as well? Us
regular people, ours is very close, but we normally sit, for me, the couple of times I've tested my blood sugar, it's always in the 5s.
Okay.
So that's slightly low.
Yeah.
For a type 1, but it's but if they go anywhere close to 3,
yeah,
that they're low. Even 4 would be considered a low blood sugar. Anything under 6, that's not that far away
from like our resting normal.
Well, no. What I'm saying is like that's only a couple points away.
Okay.
From being in a low blood sugar. Being in a low blood sugar is super dangerous. If they go too low, they will have a seizure and possibly die. So like resting blood sugar like, for us is 5. For them, they want to be like at least 6, be a little bit higher. They want to be just above what we normally sit at, just to give a bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's not that far away. Some diabetics, like, if they have a high blood sugar, it's normally, in the somewhere between like 10 and 20. So if
that's like high?
Yeah, 10 and 20 is like high. If they're above 20, it's like quite high.
Okay.
For when Jordan got diagnosed, she was at 40. So,
whoa.
Yeah.
Is low much more dangerous than
low
high?
is much more dangerous.
Okay.
In the short term.
Yes.
So there's the difference. In the short term, low is super dangerous because you can have a seizure, you can die.
Yeah.
In the and then high blood sugar is dangerous, but only in the long term.
Okay.
If you have a high blood sugar for a long period of time, it is dangerous.
Gotcha.
You'll basically start to poison yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to use the correct terminology, so I'm not gonna get into the science of it. I do kind of understand it, but I've had 2 drinks, and I haven't like talked to Jordan about it for a long time. But like, basically, you're gonna poison yourself over a long period of time. Oh, 100%. I agree. Cool. But so you're gonna poison yourself basically
if you stay high.
If you stay high for a long period of time. So that's the danger of being in a high blood sugar for a long period of time. But low blood sugar is dangerous because you can have a seizure and die.
Yes.
So that's dangerous.
Scary right away.
Yeah. So that's fucking scary, man. To be you're always kind of like you have to be on like all the time. You know what I mean? You have to be constantly aware of what your blood sugar is at. And you have to be constantly aware of what you're eating. If you're exercising, you got to make sure you have some sort of sugar on you. If your blood sugars drop and won't come back up, you got to go to the hospital. Like you're and drinking alcohol is super dangerous too, because if you drink alcohol, and alcohol has a bunch of sugar and carbs, and
it's what it is.
Yeah, and you drink a bunch of alcohol, eat a bunch of food, and then take insulin for that.
Yeah. And
then throw up because you got too drunk. You've taken a whole bunch of insulin,
and you don't have any of
that sugar in you. If that happens, 911 immediately, because you are going to drop.
That's really good to know. I don't think many people know that.
No. So basically, if you think about it, if you're out drinking, you're out partying, you get, you've had some drinks, it's carbs, it's sugar, so it's normally Jordan doesn't bolus for drinks, but she'll bolus for the food that she eats sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes
what are you saying?
So when Jordan's out drinking, She eats, she drinks, and will go out for food sometimes.
Yeah.
She
What do you
eats
say? She
food.
doesn't what for drinks?
Bolus.
Bolus. What's that mean?
Take insulin.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. So the word bolus means to take insulin.
Okay. Cool.
So
I'm with you now.
Yeah. So she won't bolus for it because what alcohol can sometimes randomly do is just make your blood sugar just drop randomly.
Okay.
So Jordan can like drink and eat all night, and sometimes at the end of the night be at like 8.
Okay.
So if she had taken insulin, she would have gone low.
Okay.
So that's sort of a weird thing that alcohol does is it sometimes just makes your blood sugar drop. But yeah, so if you eat a bunch of food, drink a bunch of alcohol, and then take insulin for that food that you ate, and then all of a sudden you drank too much and fucking throw up all that food you just ate, but you have all that insulin on board, you're fucked. Like you could go into diabetic shock within fucking 10 minutes.
Like that.
Oh, dude, within minutes. It doesn't take that long. So at that point, you either have to fucking, if they're done throwing up, feed them sugar, so make them drink a bunch of fucking juice. Yeah. Juice, because it's liquid and just pure sugar. Mm-hmm. It's pure sugar and it's liquid, so it'll start reacting pretty quick. If you don't have that, then you have to get them. I'm not gonna be able to think of it, but it's basically just like a shot that you can give them, and it's basically just pure fucking. It's basically just like will jack up their blood sugar, like
glucose or something.
Oh yeah, it's glycogen.
Okay, yeah.
You can give them a glycogen shot if they have that, and just fucking jack up their blood sugar, so there's no chance of them going low. It's dangerous shit, man, and like people like talk about type 1 diabetes like it's cool, like it's not a big deal, but that shit's scary. It's scary, especially if you're out drinking. Like I know, it can be like type 1 diabetics. Like a lot of the times, if they're out drinking, you need someone who's like more sober to like watch after them. Because I've had experiences where it's like, it can get dangerous.
Walking a thin line.
Yeah, wow. It can get dangerous. Even if you're not drinking, like sometimes she'll just like wake up in the middle of the night and she's like, I'm at 2. I need to go drink sugar. So, yeah. It's sketchy shit. It's sketchy shit. Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So like people who want their little safe injection sites, like.
Yeah, honestly, people who want people who like want their safe injection sites. Nah, dude, there's way more important shit we can be putting our money towards. If we stop spending money on safe injection sites and put it towards fucking helping them pay for, people pay for their fucking needles and shit. Yeah. For if they put all that money towards safe injection sites for needles and just put it towards diabetics, fuck. I don't care. Honestly, I don't even care what party would suggested that. Yeah. I'd be in. Like what political party? Fuck. I'd be in on that. Yeah. I'm assuming it would honestly probably be like a liberal or an
I'm sure. Yeah.
But yeah, dude.
Well, we do have the blessing of having all of Canadian politics slightly more left.
I know.
Than the U.S.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
You don't really make it in Canadian politics if you're too far to the right.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of surprised that Andrew Scheer made it to the head of the Conservative Party. Because he's quite right. Yeah. Not his platform for what he's running on, but his personal views are quite right.
Yeah, but I think it's good that at least you can make some separation between those two. I mean, I think the other people, I don't know a whole lot about. I haven't followed. I wish that I followed the actual conservative leadership race a little bit more closely. Mm-hmm. Like Maxime Bernier, who was the other guy that looked like he was pretty much going to win, and then he didn't. Yeah. I don't really know how much different they are, but yeah, they were all sort of in that sort of same kind of boat. It seems like there's some fighting going on between them. I don't know. Someone's
I don't know much
getting
about
removed
that.
from something. I don't know.
Do you know much about Jagmeet Singh?
I don't know.
I follow.
I know that he doesn't have a seat in the House of Commons.
No, he doesn't. But he is the leader of the NDP party.
He is the leader of the NDP. He got engaged.
Yeah,
I know that it was videotaped.
Yeah, he put on his story of him partying. Yeah, it's now he doesn't drink, but I have a bit of
an issue with the fact that he doesn't have a seat in the House of Commons.
Really,
he's not an MP.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's interesting that can happen. Hey,
yeah,
it's interesting. It's interesting that that can happen. That he can be the leader of a federal party, but not even have a seat in it.
But not have a seat in there.
Come next election, he will.
Will he?
Well, yeah, he has to.
Potentially or for sure?
Well, dude, think about what happened with Christy Clark. Remember, she didn't win in her riding, so somebody else gave up their seat for her. Gave up their seat. They paid them lots of money to move to step aside so that Christy Clark could run, and then she got voted in. Yeah, because that was a super liberal riding.
Yeah, so then they'll do the same thing.
They'll do the same thing with Jagmeet Singh probably. They'll have somebody step aside, and he'll just go in to their riding, and then he'll hopefully get voted in. Yeah, it's a weird little like thing with Canadian politics. It's a strange thing that can happen, but I like the guy. My mom met him actually. Really? Yeah, my mom met him.
He seems like a very like from
genuinely seems like a
because I'm just like definitely not an NDP person.
Yeah.
So I just like haven't. I mean, I should probably pay more attention to it. I paid a little bit of attention when the actual like party leader race was going
Tom
on
Mulcair.
Between
Tom Mulcair.
like no, not for here. I mean, I guess.
For federal or provincial?
For federal, yeah. So yeah, Tom Mulcair is federal, yeah. When it was like him and whatever the name of the lady was that was running as well. I don't know. Yeah, it was like Jagmeet, some woman, and then some other guy, and it was sort of like obvious that he was going to win because the lady seemed like insane, and this other guy seemed like he had no idea what was going. He just seemed really like, boring. And
just seemed like your classic, like middle, like old white guy. Yeah. Like fucking He seemed very boring. Yeah. We're Jagmeet. He's he's young. He's exciting. He's got all these great ideas. He's relatively new to politics and in the grand scheme of things. He's like,
he's younger than.
He's 38 or 39.
He's the youngest out of all three of our party leaders.
Yeah.
Super
it's the
young.
First time in political history, I think, where all three are below 50.
Yeah, like what Trudeau is 45. 45.
I think he's like.
I feel like Scheer's like 41 or something like that, isn't he?
Okay, I just started recording again. Yeah.
Where were we at? We were
at politics and talking about Andrew.
About age of people.
Yeah, we're talking about the age.
So Trudeau is 45.
Something like that.
Something like that. Scheer's 39.
I think Jagmeet is basically the same as Andrew.
Okay, like basically the same age.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But I'm very NDP. I don't think
very NDP.
Like I voted NDP federally and provincially in the last.
Do you know the funny thing?
What's that?
In the last federal election, like the first time we could vote.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about politics. I was like,
it's different now.
It's different time. Different now. And I voted NDP.
Really, eh?
We're now like
for Tom
the
Mulcair.
last party in the world I would vote for would probably be NDP. I'd probably vote Trudeau before I voted NDP. But because I was like, I know Harper is evil, and Trudeau is young. Like that's what the media. That's what being fed to me. Like Harper is evil. Justin Trudeau is too young. It's
Harper was evil, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know anything about Harper's. I feel so bad about this. I don't know.
Guy was a fucking retard.
Man. Dude, did you see him on something like Fox like a week ago talking about Trump being stupid and awful and about like how dumb it was about putting like the tariffs on Canada and about trying to like invite Putin back into the G7 and like okay. Again, like
here's the thing about Stephen Harper, and here's the thing about all politics.
Yes.
Once they're no longer a politician, they start to sound really smart.
Probably, yeah.
No, but like genuinely, I think that when they're a politician, they have background people telling them what to do and pulling the strings, and so they say shit that like sounds stupid. Like Trudeau has like. When he was campaigning and didn't have any strings being pulled, he sounded super amazing. And now when you hear him speak, he just sounds like a load of garbage.
Honestly, I think one of my biggest critiques of
he can't speak.
Not my biggest critique, but a critique of Trudeau is that the man cannot speak fluent sentences that are like clean. Mm-hmm. He like stumbles over his words so much, and I don't know if that's like something. Just the way he talks or anything, but I do think that's an issue somewhat. just the way he talks. There's so many. Like,
he's not a very strong speaker.
Yeah.
You know, like when Obama came out, he was strong.
Yeah.
He had this booming
Like, this man could
voice.
talk.
He was correct. He was like very like he had like lots of charisma.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. And when Trudeau speaks, he just sounds very timid and not very like he doesn't sound like the leader of a major fucking country.
No, and I mean like like listening to Harper talk for this time, like for the first time seeing like a past Canadian Prime Minister speak since Trudeau, it's like, man, at least this guy could talk. However, but I mean, like, I also remember when he like told Putin to like get out of Ukraine, and it was like in this like really weird, like he like walked by him and like shook his hand. He's like, "Get the hell out of Ukraine," and like walks away from him. And it was like, man, that's like the wimpiest way of doing that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. Putin's probably a very scary man in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen Harper like destroyed so many like provincial parks and lakes and like that's he didn't give a fuck about the environment. Yeah. That was a big thing for me.
That's the biggest thing I think that the Conservative Party needs to catch up in
is environmental. Yeah, cuz they
it's like finding the balance between economic success and
because they're big on economics.
Yeah, and preserving the environment though. Like I think that's important.
Yeah, like that is for me when I'm looking at like party leaders or what parties can like preserving the environment or improving the environment even better would be in my top 3 things that I look for.
Yeah, I think I do. I'm straight with you that it's an important thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing that U.S. conservative politics I think is different than like I guess I hope so more so than Canadian is that like,
they do acknowledge.
I think Canada is more so like most people are more so acknowledging like that like the impact of humans on climate change.
I feel like lots of the climate change deniers come from the States.
Yeah. And I memean like I have some respect for the people who are in the party of agreeing that climate change is happening and agreeing that humans are causing it.
Yeah.
But with the apprehension to what we can do about it in like North America. I mean, I still am much more in favor of like we can do a lot of it. Yeah. I'm not really in favor of the carbon tax though. But
yeah, the carbon tax.
But I'm in general slightly uneducated on that whole topic, so I can't go too.
I feel like here's my socialist NDP. I hate the carbon tax because I pay so much money for gas.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of money, man. Like $1.50 for a liter. Alberta's paying like 90 cents for reference. Yeah. Like it like that fucking like that kind of sucks, and like businesses having to pay carbon tax and all that shit for all the shit that they're doing. But I feel like we're unfortunately stuck in the generation that just has to fucking deal with it. That's my opinion. My opinion is like the carbon tax sucks now, but if we look 50 years ahead, 50 years in the future, I believe that 50 years in the future, our green technology will be so much more advanced because people will want to stop paying this fucking carbon tax. And unfortunately, we're stuck in the middle of it, and we're stuck dealing with it, and we're stuck paying it. But in the long run, I think in the long run it'll pay off, and it'll pay off for the generations that come after us.
Yeah, I think I just need to read more about it.
Yeah,
and I think that's the useful things about like talking to people who are like opposed to like my gut instinct of like I don't like it.
Yeah, well, I don't like it either.
No.
But I'm willing to do it.
Yes.
And on a big scale picture, I agree with it. In the short term, it sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks. I hate it.
But my gut instinct is like I don't like it, and I don't think we should have it. But then, as soon as someone like says like maybe this is like why it's potentially useful, it's like then it forces you to actually become educated on it. And so.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I had to go and look at like abortion laws and stuff. Like same, like I went and researched and like went and looked everywhere for like I had to go because like I wasn't super educated on it because I've just always had that opinion.
Yeah.
I just had my opinion and I never really like looked at it anymore.
No.
I just like got my opinion and went, okay, that is it. This is why. But I never like looked at like the laws and the legitimacy of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't quite get a full understanding of it because the more I talked about it, like the more I talked about our conversation to other people, someone brought up like, well, it sounds like he is pro-choice.
Wait, we're back to abortion.
Yeah, just for a quick sec. Just for a quick sec. Someone said, well, it sounds like he's pro-choice, but he's just pro-life in his own personal life. So in your personal relationships, you are against abortion in your own personal relationships.
Yeah.
But what someone said is like, well, it sounds like he doesn't care if other women get abortions. And it sounds like so that's why I just wanted to follow up, because if you had it your way, would there be no abortions?
I am ethically opposed to abortion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
no. I mean, it becomes complicated for me in the emotional sense of like having like sympathy for people and like not thinking that people who make these decisions are awful people. Because I don't, but as a from an ethical standpoint, like no, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not pro-choice in really any regard. I would, so with the exception of like say like preservation of life.
Yeah. So preserving.
I'll stand by that happily.
Yeah. Okay. Just I had to clarify that because I was talking to someone and they were like, well, it sounds like he's like not against other women.
There's a lot of people who are like that. Like in my personal life, I'm like pro-choice, but people get to do whatever they want with that. Whereas
in your personal life, you're pro-life.
There are a lot of people. Yeah, sorry. There's people who are like, I'm pro-life. Personally, I would never have one.
Yeah.
But people get to do whatever they want. Whereas like my opinion is you're bringing in because for me, I take the whole argument in general as coming down to where you define human life. That's for me the central of this argument is like, what do you define as human life? And once you decide what that is, you don't get to kill it. Like that's for anyone.
Yeah.
I think that once you decide that something is a human life, you don't get to kill it anymore.
Yeah.
Like if you decide that's after birth, then that's your point. If you decide that's 12 weeks, that's your point.
Yeah.
From all my reasoning and what I understand about the science about it, my belief is that it starts at conception. You don't get to kill it now. Now, if you're having an abortion, you're bringing in other people into this matter because you have a separate human life, and that's why I'm against it. Yeah. So that's why.
Okay. Do you think that? Do you think the father of the child should have do you think there should be a 50-50 say if someone does get an abortion or keep it? Do you think there should be a 50-50 say in what what they choose to do?
Oh, I mean, like if you're going to have
if
we're going to introduce abortion is going to happen. Should men have a decision in that
abortion is legal. Yeah. So in Canada, two people have a baby. They're not. And they're trying to decide whether or not they're going to keep it or have an abortion. Do you think that the man and the woman should have a 50-50 say, or do you think that it is 100% the woman's choice?
I would have to say 50-50.
Yeah?
Because I don't see how...
Sorry, ignore I'm just smirking because I really like it when we disagree.
That's okay. Because I don't see how something that like I'm biologically a part of is not... I mean, like the second that... Like, why does that differ once you give birth to it? Automatically now we have 50-50. I'm responsible for that child financially by the law of the government.
I'm just smirking. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm not smirking.
I don't think that at all that it's like
I just like
a condescending way.
No, it's not a condescending way at all.
No.
It's just I like when we disagree because then it just like because I can see that you're thinking and I can see the thought, and so then that just gets me thinking about my own stuff. Yeah, interesting. Okay, because I would say that it's 100% the woman's choice. Because I would say that she's the one who's pregnant. Yes, it's biologically 50%.
Yeah.
You know, the man's child, but it's inside the woman.
Okay. So my question for you then. Is that if it's...
Okay, well, let me finish my thought first.
Sorry,
No, it's all good. So it's 50% it's biologically the man's, but it's 100% literally inside of the woman. It is 100% her job to feed it, to care for it, to deliver it, and then after that, to care for it.
No, then it becomes 50%.
To care for it. To literally nurture it.
No.
Yeah, to nurture. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How?
They literally have to breastfeed it.
No, they don't.
Okay, no, I guess technically no, they don't have to.
That child can live completely without the mother for the rest of its life.
Once it's birthed.
Not that it should.
No, it can. It can. Yeah. Okay. So I retract that statement. Okay, but the whole birthing of it, 100% is the woman's.
Yes.
Through a woman's responsibility.
Yes.
And I believe that pregnancy is not only. It's 100% the woman's job to do the pregnancy.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's pretty much
yeah. I can't do anything.
Yeah, but I think that it's also a danger thing because you can lots of complications can happen.
Absolutely.
Lots of complications. So I think that there's a risk that they go to take, and I think that if they're willing to put their body through that, then they should have that's okay. But
can I ask you a question for that?
Yeah.
So then what if we were to put a woman in a medical facility where she had zero risk? She was totally guaranteed to have that child.
I still think it's 100% her choice.
But so then the risk doesn't affect that?
No.
Because you can't have a morality. I don't think that changes depending on scientific advancements.
No. No, okay.
Like the fact that she's taking on a risk.
Yeah, that was my
Okay,
that's not the whole reason.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I think just whether or not at the core of my belief, it is her body, and I think that she has the right to do what she wants with it.
Okay, so my one sort of question for you then would be, what makes that child part of her body and not its own?
It's in her body, and that she is attached to her. She feeds it.
Why does it being inside versus being outside change? So why does having a fetus during labor different than having it once you give birth? What is the difference between that 12-hour period of time while it's still attached to the umbilical cord? The only difference is now it's outside her body. What has changed?
It can take care of itself, or it can be taken care of without the mother.
Okay, so if that is your cutoff point, if the survivability outside the womb, that changes depending on available medical technology. So it can survive outside the womb, right? If you
technically, it could survive without the womb, without the mother, with medical technology and care and
However, if we're in South Sudan, that survivability timeline closes to earlier. So maybe it can only survive 25 weeks. Like I don't have the dates down, but you can see how location changes how long something can survive outside the womb for.
Yeah.
So then, is it okay to kill a baby at one point in one location, but not okay to kill it in a different location?
Inside. Wait, what do you mean?
Okay, so I'm asking
clarify your question for me. I feel like
you're saying that the reason that they get to do whatever they want with it is because it's inside their body.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, what has changed once you've given birth versus when it's still inside, like in that 12-hour period of time.
What has changed?
Yeah. So if you are going into labor,
yeah,
it's okay to kill the baby because it's inside your body.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
What? How is that different than?
I believe, like, okay, well, now we're getting into where's the cutoff? Where should pregnancy?
So
should
my
abortion
whole
be?
argument with the cutoff point is whenever you define human life.
Yeah.
That's my cutoff point.
Yeah.
And my reasoning for
I think once you get into the third trimester is a gray area.
Okay.
So I think
I don't understand what changes though. That's my big issue. I just am puzzled as to what has changed once you go from like the second trimester to the third trimester.
Mm-hmm. For me, that's just okay. It's not just like it's not just like a day. One day you're in the second trimester. Yeah. The next day you're in the third trimester. You're done. You can't get it's I think it's more of like a kind of like a spectrum. I don't know. It's not just like 1, 2, 3.
I agree.
And definitely what I mean? It's there's overlap. There's and stuff like that. I just use that as just like a general term. So I think that if a woman is pregnant, mm-hmm. I think that she should have decided whether or not she wants an abortion. I think because I don't know when the trimesters exactly are and stuff like that. But like I'm assuming a pregnancy is 9 months, so 3 trimesters. I'm assuming each one is about 3 to 4 months.
I think that's pretty safe.
Yeah. So by the end of the second trimester, I mean, that's somewhere around 6 months. Yeah. Approximately, maybe 7, something like that. If they haven't figured out whether or not they want an abortion or not, like if they haven't decided that they want an abortion, I feel like you're in. You know what I mean? Yeah. At that point, I feel like 6 months is plenty of time to decide. I feel like I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I'm not a woman and I have no idea. I've never been pregnant. Mm-hmm. I don't. I've never. I'm not a part of that world. I don't. That's not a concern for me. Isn't getting pregnant. Yeah. I've never been pregnant. I'm never going to be pregnant. Yes. I have no idea what that feels like to worry about getting pregnant, to get pregnant, and then to have to think about what you're going to do if you get pregnant. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what that feels like, and neither do you. It's true. So I feel like a woman should decide what she feels is right, not just for her, but for the fetus. Okay. I feel like she has the right to decide what is right for both her and the fetus, what works, what is going to work in this scenario. And and then my argument just goes back to if you don't give them the opportunity to give them to choose. Yeah. If they want an abortion, they're going to get one, and they're going to go to dangerous means to get it. Okay, so I guess the big thing that I'm trying to get you overall in the base sense of your argument. What changes? Well, no, is that what you're looking for?
Different than that is that sort of what your whole thing stems from, in that if you think that there is a point which they should decide. Yeah. And so if that's something that matters,
and they reach that point,
just wait. So if you think there's a point at which they decide,
they should decide.
They should decide. Yeah. Then you obviously have some point at which you wouldn't be okay with someone having an abortion.
Yeah. Again, like I said, it's a gray area for me.
But morally, you would think that it would be wrong to have an abortion at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be safe to say. Okay. Morally, at some point, I think that it would be wrong to get an abortion. At some point. At some point, yeah. I don't know what that point is exactly. I don't know enough about pregnancy to give you when but I think just generally as a timeline, I think if they haven't decided, I feel like 6 months. Mm-hmm. If they haven't decided by 6 months, I feel like you're fucking in for the ride. Yeah. At that point, you know what I mean? I feel like that's such a big decision that should be made as soon as possible, not 6 months after. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that is like whether I think whether you're pro-choice or pro-life.
We can all
Yeah.
agree that there's like if you're gonna make a decision that if you are
If
going to
you're gonna make a
within the
decision,
current laws of what you can do,
you should
make
make
the
it
decision.
sooner than later. Like
Yeah.
as soon as you can. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like don't wait. I feel like 6 months after 6 months pregnant. You've got
It's like, that lady. You can now probably safely ask if someone's pregnant without having them hate you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's like you're getting to a point where it's like I feel like if you're 6 months pregnant and you haven't decided and you haven't gotten an abortion yet, if that's what you were thinking about, I feel like you're in for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like because I feel like you're yeah. But again, legally they can get an abortion whenever. But the thing is, there's lots of doctors that won't do abortions.
Oh, yeah, there's a point where you pretty much can't get an abortion in Canada. It's pretty hard too.
It's legally you can. But there's people that just won't do it.
So I guess that a good way to wrap this up is I have two things.
Okay. Quickly, we have very little.
First of all, my question for you then would be like to contemplate on, so to meditate on, is if you do think at some point there is a shift between when it's ethically okay and not ethically okay, try and figure out what you think that point is.
Okay.
Like what makes you flip.
Okay.
The second thing is it possible to have jokes about abortion still be funny if you're against abortion? The answer is yes. Because I'm against murder, jokes about murder can still be funny. I feel like I should put that out.
Okay, think about ethical. The first question.
Not advocating for jokes about it, but like I feel like.
Okay, we literally have probably 30 seconds left. That's okay, but I think that at some point abortion might get ethically iffy. Mm-hmm. I'll say ethically iffy, not ethically wrong, but ethically iffy.
Yeah.
I still think that they should have that choice.
Okay.
I still think it should be their choice.
Okay.
Yeah. We have to end it here because. Yeah, we might. Yeah, we're gonna end it here. Yeah, we're gonna end it here because we are running out of battery.
That's a good.
Fuck yeah.
We went through some good stuff and we ended up back here.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll just keep winding back here.
Yeah.
One of us switches.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good.
All right. Fuck yeah. Cheers.
It's an Italian wine I got from Vessel. It was a half bottle.
Yeah.
So it was it's this big. It was $30. And I think it was insane. It was the most intense dried fruit I've ever tasted in my life.
I'm gonna try this.
It's gonna have beer in it.
Drink it.
I've drunk all the beer.
Drink that little bit.
I did. I don't want. Will you pass me a water bottle back there so I'm gonna rinse it out?
Just.
No. It's gonna have beer in it. I'm gonna taste the beer. All I'm gonna taste is the beer.
Now you're fine.
Okay, that's good.
You're fine.
Oh, that's pleasant.
Right?
Yes.
Just like I've never gone wrong with red ales, I've never gone wrong with Argentina wine.
That's what dude. Argentina is the place to get cheap wines from.
Oh, and good cheap wine.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Argentina. Yeah.
I think this one was I think it was $18-19, but
that's a super safe range for anything. So
yeah,
you're guaranteed.
Yeah, there's this one down at Buffy's that was it was in Argentina $14.
Yeah,
and it was killer. I could you could drink it any time of day, whatever.
Yeah, Argentina's super safe.
Yeah, I feel like your side is so clean and my side is just got
shit everywhere.
Just littered with shit.
You are collapsing at the seams.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we're drinking.
Are you recording?
Yeah. Oh, I've been recording for a few minutes now.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So almost Malbec. 2016. Malbec. No.
Spilled wine everywhere, Norris.
I know. Just don't even worry about it. Cheers. In our beer glass.
Keep spilling beer. This is so wrong.
The like super like nerdy like side of you that like really cares is
Slightly
like
dying right
yeah,
now.
it's like just like clawing at your inside
It's
right
like,
now.
why am I drinking? I'm drinking wine out of a Pilsner glass that was previously full of 2 separate beers. But whatever, it's cool.
Whatever.
I'm fine with this.
I'm fine. Yeah.
This is amazing.
You can just drink it straight out of the bottle if you want.
No, that's okay. Last time I drank wine straight out of the bottle, it was like...
Remember when you, me, Jordan, and Sophie just got fucking hammered on wine?
We need to do that again.
Fuck.
Before I go, we're having another wine night.
Okay.
This is happening.
We got fucked up. We got hammered.
Yeah, I really like this. Is, I don't even. I think we have to. We should talk about this sometime off camera.
Okay. It was a super interesting night.
Wow, that was a weird night. It's a good night though. This
It was a good night.
This little section right here is for Jordan and Sophie. They know what's
This is
going
just for
on.
you guys, Jordan and Sophie. Yeah, fuck. Oh, fuck. The camera got all fucked up somehow.
Oh, we can move it. Look at that. Woo.
By the way, I'm really hoping somebody will comment on the background.
It's beautiful.
Right?
Yes, man.
It's nicer. We haven't covered up the whole wall, but it's a start. I was in my mind for whatever reason it was a lot bigger.
Yeah.
But now that I've put it on a massive wall, it's
looking at the feed, it's kind of
it looks small, right?
so small.
It looks so small, but it looks bigger when you look at it like this.
Yeah, Arnold is huge right now. He's
Yeah.
like life size.
Yeah.
Honestly, his face is just about the same size as mine.
Arms are almost as big as
Yeah,
his.
same. Look at that.
It's chicken arms out here.
Shut up.
Fuck.
What do we have that's do we have anything?
Hmm?
Do we have any cool things?
Oh, fuck. Okay, we left off. We finished off that abortion topic. Yeah, I think I have a much better understanding now, which is good.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I think, the useful thing about this more than anything is like building understandings about positions rather than just like having what you think the other person thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Like attacking.
Yeah, because like if you were to say, just with no other context, I'm pro-life, people would immediately have assumptions of what you believe.
Oh yeah. Same with like both ways.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Interesting question, because I have no idea. If I told a group of pro-life people that I'm pro-choice, what would their immediate assumptions be? What would your immediate assumption be if you didn't have the type of attitude towards, like, what would, like, because I know people would immediately think that pro-life people are like, you know, they don't want, you know, rights, you know, that they're they
like going to like they like hate everyone who doesn't agree with them.
exactly, yeah. So that would be where where people could assume. But what would be the assumption of because I've never thought about it. I have no idea. I have no idea what it's like.
Well, I mean, I'd like to hope that it's at least like maybe some further understanding of like, okay, like what do you mean by that? Because like that's the same with like a lot of things. Like someone says like, you think about like religion. If someone's like, oh, I'm a religious person, like that can mean so many different things.
Yeah.
It's like,
but what I'm wondering is like, if I were to say I'm pro-choice to a room full of pro-life people, what would their immediate, you know, assumptions be about me or about my opinion? Can you even touch on that? Or do you...
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I
we're
think
monsters because we're
people.
good. Yeah, true.
I don't know. I honestly like part of me like my gut instinct from what I've seen feels like it'd be that like pro-life people are more accepting of pro-choice people, but I don't know if that's true or not, and the other way around. And I honestly don't even know. I think that like what you see in like clickbaity YouTube things on any side, like I definitely thought there were a lot more people who were like uber left in the world. From like you like watch like YouTube compilations and like all these like people with insane ideas. And, like, this is what the real world is like. And then you like start talking to people and you're like, oh, these people are pretty normal, reasonable people.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like that a lot on both sides.
Yeah.
And so I think that more than anything, people like have this idea of what they think. Everyone has this like mob mentality that like the other person like.
Yeah. Well, those crazy people that you're talking about on YouTube, those are the videos that go viral.
Yeah.
Those are the videos that people see because they're insane.
Mm-hmm. Those people are actually crazy.
They're crazy, both on the left and the right.
Yeah.
They're crazy, and that's why they go viral. That's why people see them, and then they get mushed. You know, if you're at all on the left side, you get mushed with that crazy person.
Just like, oh.
Same thing if people who have some conservative views get mushed in with those people crazy on the right. So,
yeah. So I think that's super important to like take a second and realize that unless you've had like an actual conversation with the person you're talking to about what they think, you probably don't understand their ideas that well. They're probably not as extreme as you think they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm sure there are some people who have even more extreme pro-life opinions than you do.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure, and I don't know, can you have more extreme? Yeah, you can have more extreme pro-choice. Like I don't think you could have. Yeah.
I think you can be like, abortion's a good thing. People should just like get it whenever. You want to have one? Great.
Okay, no, I feel like most people can agree both pro-choice
but there are
and
there are people out there that are like that.
That abortion is good?
Oh yeah. Not many probably, but there's like you can find people on like Twitter and stuff like that that are like.
Okay, I'm gonna say for the vast majority, abortion is
not
a good thing.
I know that. No. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's
no.
Like,
I know.
People on either end that are super extreme.
I guess, yeah.
But if you don't expect that people are like that.
No.
Don't think like, oh, anyone who's like pro-life is like, yeah, I'm gonna go like kill some babies. That's not it at all.
Mm-hmm.
You people are dumb if you think that.
Yeah.
You're just wrong on so many levels. So yeah. I hope people don't think that.
Yeah.
I hope people don't think that about pro-choice people.
That what?
That they're like, oh, like rah, it's great.
Go kill some babies.
No.
No. Because I feel like the vast majority of people can agree that abortion is not a good thing. It's not a great thing at all.
So
I mean, I think women should have the choice to have one, but I don't think it's a good thing.
No.
Don't get me wrong. It's like I'm not saying abortion is good. Everyone should do it. No. So I think, you got an abortion, gold star. I'm not. No, that's not how it works. That's not my opinion on it. Anyway.
No. Yeah.
That was it. We had a quick conversation just like out there about like not getting offended.
I think a good way of wrapping this episode up would be
talk about
what we talked about. Like we had a little discussion before we started filming anything.
Yeah.
About like a difference between this sort of triggered phase and just like offense.
Yeah.
And how there's a difference and how they're not really the same thing.
Yeah.
And Norris has an amazing,
which I thought about in the shower,
explanation for it.
Yeah.
Which I think is very true. And I agree completely with this.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, so there's a bit of background that goes with it. So when Jordan and I broke up, there was, I went through this. Fucking drink the wine. Okay, when Jordan and I broke up, I went through like this like time when, we were together for like over 3 years, and it was like and I went through this like phase where I was like trying to like not manipulate, but like control what she did or what she said through what I said and what I did. I was, because there were things I didn't want her to do, and there were things I didn't want her to say, and I tried to manipulate that, and I kept trying to do it, and it just drove me insane, and I kept wanting to, and I wanted to say like, and I just wanted to like yell at her like, don't do this or do this, and then I just like I happened to come across this like Instagram guy that I follow, and he took a picture of a book that he was reading, and like the big letters was, you can only control what you do and what you say. You can't control what others do and what they say. And for whatever like that just like stuck with me so hard, and I started to like practice that. Yeah. I like put it into practice and put it into my own life. And after like 2 weeks, this is like 2 weeks after we broke up, but after like another 2 weeks of putting this into practice, not just with our breakup, but like with just everything in life. Yeah. I stopped trying to control what she was doing, what other people were doing, and just said, I can only control what I do. I can only control what I say. And like anything else is just out of my control. Because I realized if you try and control other people, what they say, what they do, how they act, how they dress, anything like that, it's going to drive you insane. Yeah. Because you can't control other people. That is all out of your control, what other people do. It's all out of your control. You can only control what you do. And if you're trying to control other people, will drive you insane. Literally, it'll drive you insane. And so I was thinking about that sort of principle. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about it, and I sort of started to apply it to, people today, being offended. And I sort of started to think about it in a way that was like, when someone who is getting triggered, yes, lots of the, pretty much, 99% of the time, people say it's because people and them will say it's because they're getting offended and they're getting triggered, and I think that's wrong. I don't think they are
like extreme emotions.
Yeah, those extreme emotions. You see people like having meltdowns and like because they're triggered. It's not because they're offended. People get offended every day. Even those people will get offended every day, but they will not react that way. Yeah. The reason they're reacting that way is because they are trying to control other people. They're trying to make other people think the way they think, say the things that they say, and act the way that they act. They're trying to change people, and you can't change what other people do. If you do, it'll drive you insane, and that's what's happening. People are trying. These people who are like, I'm trying to find, like a general term to use it, for lack of a better term. I'm going to say hard leftist.
Yeah, I think like the social justice warrior.
Social justice warrior, hard left, whatever you want to use. Yeah. I feel like the whole reason they are having these huge trigger moments and meltdowns is because it's not because they're offended. It's because they're trying to control other people, and you can't. You can only control what other people do. So my personal take on this, I was like, if a woman wants to dress like a man, act like a man, tell people she's a man, and vice versa, good for them. Go for it. Do it. Whatever. I can't do anything about it. I can't tell you not to do it. I can't say don't do it. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. But you can't force me to call you by that gender that you want me to. You can't force me to do that because people say it's ruining or taking away your humanity, taking away your identity. It's offensive. It's I can't buy into that because it's like if your name is James.
Yeah. Let's put it on me.
Yeah, your name is James, and you want to be called James.
I like it.
Yeah, but I said no. You look more like a Brent. I'm gonna call you Brent. You probably don't like being called Brent.
No, but it doesn't actually affect. It doesn't change.
Yeah, you don't like it. You probably like it. If we were straight, you probably wouldn't like being called a name that has nothing to do with your actual name. You know what I mean? But it's not like it's not destroying you by any means. It's not like,
and I can't force you to call me James.
yeah,
I can ask you to call me James.
yeah,
I can give you the reason why I'd like you to do that.
yeah.
But if at the end of the day you have this reason for not,
and the reason can easily be you look more like a Brent, or I just don't want to. That's cool. That's not illegal.
No.
But what is happening is you ask me to call you a woman, I'm going to say, no, you look more like a man.
I do.
And you do. So, I don't know. Like, and we made a connection to names and genders. What is the difference? Both are identification both are identity to some extent. Both are given at birth. Both you can change legally.
So why is there this difference between the two if you're not attempting to harm? Like, I'm not. What you're saying isn't trying to be mean.
No.
In both cases.
No. Yeah. And then we get into this whole like Bill C-16. I've been watching so much more of Jordan Peterson, and I love what he has to say about Bill C-16. Yeah, and the Bill C-16 is that it's forcing words and ideas into your mouth that were not formed by you. Yeah. What Bill 16 does is puts words, it's forcing you to say things that are not your own ideas and your own thoughts and your own opinions, and it's forcing that on you.
I don't know how you could do it with any integrity.
Yeah, like that's fucked up. You're getting into so that's a dangerous road to go down, because now you're going down a road where if that sort of thing continues, you're getting into a world where like the government is telling you what you have to say.
Yeah.
And that infringes upon free speech. Like 100%. Like I am all for free speech minus, this is one thing we differ on free speech. I think I'm a bit more like, I do think that there is a bit more hate speech.
Okay.
Like I do think there's more hate speech.
Yeah, you can find a line that's different than mine.
I think there's just hate. I think there is a line from hate speech that is not physically violent.
Yeah, but no matter what, that's different than compelled speech.
Yeah, compelled speech. So I'm all for things, for bills or laws saying you can't say this because it's hate speech.
Yeah,
that's okay.
You can have that, but
yeah. So I can't call a transgender person some horrible term.
Like all of a sudden the term like branch becomes like an offensive word for trans people.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, don't say that to people.
Yeah.
That's different than forcing me to use a word.
To use language that is not formulated by me, that is not my own original idea. You're putting ideas, forcing me to say thoughts and things that are not my own. That's a weird thing to get in. It's weird. It's weird.
It's uncomfortable.
It's weird and uncomfortable. Yeah. It's a weird thing to get into, and the fact that it's already in there and that it's so poorly written.
Yeah, it's like when you take like respect things, if like someone who used to be the president of the United States or the prime minister of Canada is still referred to as like the president or prime minister, like Barack Obama is still President Obama. Mm-hmm. And if you were to meet Obama, you should still call him President Obama. Mm-hmm. But if it was like illegal to not call him President Obama, that'd be uncomfortable. Mm. Like I wouldn't like that. Mm-hmm. I have to say president.
Yeah, that's weird. You're getting into some sort of weird.
And that's kind of the same thing, I feel like.
That is sort of the same thing. Yeah. It's kind of like how in North Korea they have to call him Supreme Leader.
Yeah.
Sort of this weird thing. If you don't say that, it's illegal. That's weird. Mm-hmm. That's weird.
Yeah.
You can say, "I'd like you to call me that," like on a person, yeah. Like I don't know why that has to go to some sort of law, but yeah. When it comes to like someone saying, "I want you to call me this gender," and it's like, "Well, you'd like me to, but I can see that you're not, so I'm not going to."
Yeah, and
that should be my choice.
I agree.
That should be my choice. Yeah. Yeah, that like I firmly believe that should be my choice if I decide to or not.
I'd be curious to hear how like someone's like argument against that, like because for me that seems so obvious.
Yeah.
Like it seems like that's
Well,
obviously what
we're coming at it from like I think for someone to disagree with what we're saying, they have to be coming from it from a compassion.
Yes, and I can
some
see
form
that.
of compassion,
whether
they're involved in that community.
Yeah.
If they're involved in that community, obviously they have a personal
like
connection,
an emotional pull to that.
Yeah, but if it's just some person who disagrees with us, they're not related, they're not trans, they don't have friends that are trans, but they disagree with us.
Yeah.
It has to be coming from your compassionate.
Yes.
They want people to be happy.
Respect that compassion, but the thing that you and I are talking about more than a respect or compassion thing is like actual laws.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like the conversation about whether or not I'm going to use any of those words is totally different than having the force of the government telling me I have to use those words.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. It's a weird thing to get into. But yeah, it's just a weird road to go down where the government is saying you have to say this or it's illegal.
I don't think that a lot of people like when this.
I don't think a lot of people think about it that way.
No, I think when this bill was actually going through and everything, at least in like the people that I was surrounding around, it didn't seem like that big of a like it was big on like certain communities online, but it didn't seem like that big of a thing in like.
Well, honestly, I didn't think too much about it until I started researching Bill C-16 and listening to other people who disagree with it talk about it. And I was like, fuck, that is weird. Like, the more I thought about it, I was like, that is weird. This whole law is weird. Yeah. So I didn't really, I think people just like, oh, you have, like, there's a law saying, it's hate speech not called trans people by the gender that they want. If you just leave it at that and just look at it for what it is.
Yeah, it's in like the headline of like what it is.
Yeah, that seems, if you look at it as a headline, that seems like, wow, that is very progressive. Mm-hmm. But then if you really think about it, that is a weird road to go down. Yeah. That is a weird road to go down. I don't like that. The more I started to think about it, I was like, no, I'm not down with that. Yeah.
It sketches me out.
Yeah, it sketches me out. Yeah. Yeah. We only got like a couple more minutes.
Is it 25? Wow.
25, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know it's bizarre. But yeah, so like
I think that the overall thing about like what we started this little section off with about how that the big issue is that you are trying to control this outcome. Mm-hmm. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you're going through this emotional turmoil because what you're trying to force to happen isn't feasible or possible.
It's not possible.
It's just going to make you go, as you said, insane.
Yeah, if you just like think about it from that principle, you can only control what you do and can't control what others do. That's what these people are trying to do. They're trying to control what other people do. And when people don't go along with it because they're being forced to, these people, like go batshit in some scenarios. But they get triggered, and people are like, well, they're getting offended, and it's like, no, they're not getting. Well, yeah, offended. Yes. They might be offended, but that's not why they're triggered. The reason they're triggered is because they're trying to force people to do things or to think a certain way or to say a certain thing, and people don't like to be forced to do anything. Like you can force people to do something, and it might be a really nice thing to do, but you're forcing them, and so they do it, so people won't want to do it because they're being forced. Humans do not like to be forced. Humans like to have free will to do whatever they want. Yeah. I would be much more okay with calling someone the gender that they want if they said that this is my gender, you can call it, this is the one I'd like to be called, I'll leave it at that. But if you say, you have to call me this, I am like immediately a lot less interested in calling you, because you're telling me what I have to do.
It's shifted from like a courtesy to a demand.
Yeah.
And that's 2 different levels.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think that should go to the law. I can say, call me Norris, and you can say, no, I'm going to call you, asshole. Yeah. And it's like, well, I don't like that. And you're like, well, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to call you asshole because I think it's funny. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can do about it.
No.
There's nothing I can do about it. And I can't make you say anything. And if I go back to my own principle, I can't control what you do. I can only control what I do.
Yeah.
So you're going to call me an asshole? I just have to control my reaction to what you're doing. Yeah. So I think when people get offended and they get triggered, they put the blame onto other people sometimes, and they don't take responsibility. They're saying, this person offended me, they shouldn't have done that. Yeah. It's like, well, you're offended, so now that you are offended, you are responsible.
And offense is subjective.
It's subjective, and you are in control of your own body and your mind and your thoughts and your voice. And you have to. If you are offended, that is your problem. You need to deal with it. It's nobody else's fault that you are offended.
I think this is a very powerful way to end this off.
Yeah. High five.
Damn it. Yes.
That was terrible.
It's okay. Let's do it one more time.
That's better.
There we go.
Killing it.